As you wander through the dark, low-lit halls, you come to a door. As you open, look inside. You can't see anything because it's dark and none of you have dark vision. As you reach around the walls, you feel that the walls are padded and soft. Strange. Most rooms don't have that. You think
Ugh.
to yourselves. As you look to find the switch, you realize this is a recording booth. A recording booth with one standing microphone with a bloody handprint on it. What do you
Ugh.
do?
Can I roll for investigation?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. 13.
You look over to the small radio next to the mic stand as it turns on and buzzes. Aren't you supposed to be on air?
Team Code Red.
Welcome back to TCR On Air, the Dungeons and Dragons campaign. The podcast where we talk about everything and anything. I'll give you 2 guesses as to what we're talking about today. Nope, not Mr. Clean's lack of hair. We're talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you to Ren, our resident game master, for that lovely introduction. Today, I've, of course, as usual, Leaf, Mx Codered, and I'm joined by Arma, also known as Ren, Ryan, also known as Incarone, and the little old Ghedi, the HugMonster.
Whee!
Thank you, Ghedi.
You're
So,
welcome.
if you can guess, because I literally said it, we are talking about Dungeons and Dragons. TCR is a group we've dabbled several times. We've done a couple campaigns. Once we tried to do it for content, other times just for fun. It goes right, it goes wrong, it doesn't happen at all sometimes. So we're gonna tell you about our misadventures, thoughts about the game in general, and just anything else related to D&D. I see no better start than to just hop right into the original campaign back of the summer of
Original.
2020.
Was it 2020?
Yeah,
I
I
think it
think so.
was.
Yeah, because that was when I had gotten
It was
my
pandemic.
first job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd gotten my first job, and when I was talking to the HR person about my availability, I asked for Sundays off, and she was like, "Oh, because of church," and I'm like, "Yes, that's why." And it was actually because Sunday was D&D day. But
D&D
I'll hand it
Day,
over to
the new
Ren.
war game by Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah. So Ren, I think it's fitting that you explain what the story of the campaign was, and then
Right.
let's tell
Okay.
stories that we remember.
Doggy knife.
So,
Yeah, you just sit here in the pretty.
Okay.
so I have played D&D way more than everyone else here. I
Mhm.
started probably 3 years before everyone else, and at some point during the hopeless quarantine of the year of our Lord and Savior 2020, I decided to ask people, "Hey, do y'all want to play D&D?" And this was before quite a few of our current members have joined or showed up.
Oh yeah.
And the people who ended up joining, 2 of them are here, Leaf
Howdy.
and Ryan, as well as Thomas, Connor, and I think that's it, unless I'm forgetting someone. If I am, then I feel bad.
No, that was it. That was it. Yeah.
That was it. Okay. So I got them all together one on one. We made everyone's characters. This party that ended up with 3 fighters, which is fun. And it kind of just went from there. I don't plan long running stories as easily as like some people. I just make it up and kind of just went on with whatever I could come up with and took these lovely people's backstories and turned them against them, or started to. Do any of you have any of the specific stories you want to talk about?
Doggy knife. Doggy knife.
Doggy.
Doggy knife. Doggy knife.
Doggy knife.
Doggy.
Doggy knife. Doggy knife.
Dee Dee
Ryan, you have the
says no
closest
nothing.
bond.
I don't know anything.
So
Ryan,
you
it's late in DD, yeah.
hey,
Yes, enlighten me.
none of what you said went through.
Cool. I just said enlighten DD and our gorgeous viewers.
So you see, I, the Incarone, played as a small cat girl homebrew this was homebrewed race, like 3 foot tall cat grill, as I do, because yes, and run through us in like a little crypt dungeon. Shocker, I know, but you see, there was a wolf there, and I had what is it animal handling? Is that the feat?
Yeah.
It wasn't a feat, it's just a skill that everyone has. It's normally used to be like, oh, the horse is nervous. You use animal handling to calm it down.
Ah, yeah. So there was an enemy wolf, and me in my sheer infinite wisdom and intelligence, I was like, I'm gonna tame that thing. And I'm again, my character's like 3 feet tall. This is a wolf. It's a big thing. So we forced Ren to let us tame the wolf, and I named it Scruffy. I completely forgot to mention that my character's name was a toffee.
Yeah. I think it
Ah!
took 3 rounds of combat
It
while
was
you all were
beautiful.
getting stabbed by
Worth.
kobolds.
No,
Word.
this was like the purest form of democracy because we were getting stabbed and then someone started yelling doggy knife and everyone just joined in. Ren had no choice but to cave. It's like, what, you're knocking doggy with knife? Like, didn't have the knife
So,
yet.
okay,
Worth
yeah,
it.
moving on actually. So there were crates in this like little cave that these kobolds had like items that they stole and stored and took from people and stored in like crates and stuff. And you all went around to look for stuff, and you all found a +1 short sword, which I was like, oh yeah, let's give this to Spore or something, one of the other characters. And but no, everyone democratically said, hey y'all, let's give this sword to the dog.
That's
I
so
So
didn't
funny. I love
I didn't expect Doggy Knife to just suddenly make a cult ritual for everybody. I just wanted Scruffy to have funny knife, and then everybody
Well,
joined in.
you
that's
made
like the purest representation of just how this group works.
you made the legendary Pokemon Zacian.
We literally, quite literally did.
I don't know whether to love you all for it or hate you for it.
Love.
love.
I don't. Did the sword or did I ever actually equip the sword to
You
the wolf?
Scruffy never used the sword to make an attack once.
Worth.
Scruffy bit
Just there
things.
for intimidation.
It was worth
Just
it.
for the
pretty much.
aesthetic.
Oh, not to mention that you just ended up riding on the back of this wolf because you're size small and it's size medium.
True, true. Listen,
Just cause
Majestic.
it's about the principle.
you got this wolf and then made your entire character focused around this wolf.
Yep.
Pretty Incarone move. It was also
Please.
pretty handy because, well, whenever we had people like Thomas, aka Cocoon, who couldn't show up, we would just say, "Oh, Spore is asleep and riding on Scruffy for the whole game today," and it works because Spore was
Narcoleptic.
narcoleptic. Thank you.
Yep. I think Thomas showed up too. I think we played for about 11, 12 sessions. Thomas showed up for like 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't get super far in, unfortunately,
No,
but we did get far enough for my character to get a little time to shine.
that's true.
Should I like explain my character, or do you
No.
want? Okay.
You get to it. It's you. It's all
So
you.
I played a funny little bird. Well, he actually wasn't little at all. It was a very
Great.
tall bird. I don't remember how tall, but I was an Aarakocra named Ro, who is was I a fighter? I was,
Yeah,
right?
you are a fighter.
I was a fighter because everyone was a fighter. And I was a big bird with a big bow. Pretty cool design too. And I don't know. He had some backstory about fighting a war, getting traumatized by war, losing everyone he loved, and then having a new group of friends who he wanted to protect. And then Ren threw a curveball at me in like, well, not one of the first few, but once we were a little ways in, suddenly having my character's childhood friend return on the enemy side mysteriously. And we never got to find out why because the campaign ended up just not continuing.
Damn.
Yeah, but before that happened, it was pretty cool because I got flaming arrows and also seeking arrows. So I got heat seeking arrows, but not in like the definition of they find heat. It's that they find things and they are on fire. And it was pretty cool while it lasted. I think we shot a dragon. There was a dragon. I remember.
There was a dragon. Yeah. It almost murdered Az.
They're heat-seeking arrows, but I do the seeking.
Exactly.
I
I
also
was trying to
don't.
come up with the
I also don't shoot them out of the bow. I just like dual wield them in my hand and charge at the people and stab them. It's very
no,
effective.
I tried to come up with a catchy name, but seek heating arrows was not working. So
Meat
Yeah.
binders.
yeah, I gave up. But it was pretty cool, even though I never really got to use it. It was still fun, and we still got up some pretty goofy stuff. But Ren, I think you should talk about that dragon encounter and what happened to Az.
So this was, I believe, you were on your way through the mountains to what between one of the two countries
Oh my
to
god, this
track
game.
to track down your character's childhood friend, who I totally forgot the name of, and you did too.
Yep.
Um, you guys are going through this mountain and exploring this cavern full of like these cool, sparkly crystals that, when damaged, would explode into elements, as learned the hard way multiple times.
Yep.
As you're going, you find rock elementals and run away. Then you come across this like small narrow cavern, little narrow passage, and you look through and you walk through, and there is a dragon.
Wait,
These
a
nuts across your
dragon
face.
in Dungeons and oh come on.
Oh my god, it's the title.
It was a giant blue dragon. And I believe you all failed a stealth check, tried to talk to it, and it started combat by shooting lightning in all of y'all's direction.
Yeah.
Right in the face.
And as his character like and I could both hit like a semi-truck, but was made of tissue paper. Uh,
Yep.
we'll explain that situation later. But I believe it did. So an adult blue dragon's lightning breath is like something crazy, like 10d10.
Oh,
So at max 100 damage, like, and I had like 22 hit points. So I had to like nerf the damage as to not like. So in D&D, you can die. It's very hard to die instantly. To die instantly, you need to take whatever amount of damage to drop you to 0, and then enough lingering extra damage to go past your max HP. So say Ro had like 30 hit points and you were at 3 HP, 33 damage in one hit would kill you instantly,
Yeah.
which is it's fun.
No, it's scary.
Yeah. So like and I almost died instantly. You guys did have a healer, thankfully,
Yeah.
and you managed to kill it. And then 3 minutes later, as decided, let's try to cut the organ in the dragon's throat that produces lightning out of it. Roll a
Smart
medicine
move.
check at
Would
12.
recommend.
Fail. 8d10 lightning damage. Unconscious again.
Yeah. Yeah, they deserved that one.
Yeah, no, that was that.
I'm sorry.
That's the second time someone tried to remove the gland from a dragon and
You already
failed.
you already touched on how Az was, yes, like as weak as paper, but incredibly OP, and their character's whole personality was just the pick me, kind of the edgy tsundere pick me, and yeah, they were humbled in that moment.
Oh, so they were humbled in a moment before that.
Yeah, that whole game was just all right. Like, you need to take it down a notch.
Yeah, so uh
The notch was
gun
death.
gunslingers are absolutely terrifying. Uh and we were making like a nice character and as his character like and I, and they wanted like and I to have a gun. It's like, okay, what kind of gun do you want? They said, like a sniper hunting rifle type thing. So I look up the stats of the hunting rifle. It's a 2d10 weapon. I was like, yeah, this is fine. And gave it to them. Oh no. That thing on average hit for like 16 damage.
Yeah, it's just like a scratch, you know?
Merely a flesh wound.
Really a flesh
So,
wound.
Mike and I was also like a min-max character with a 20 in dex, which is the highest you can physically get it. And the archery fighting style. So I believe Like and I had a +7 to hit, whereas like the characters in the most recent game have like at most +5.
Yeah.
Scary. It's very scary. Oh, actually, it's even more. It's a +9 to hit, not a +7 at level 1.
Yeah, seems fine.
A little
Yeah.
overkill. So 2d10 +5. I had to drop this damage to 2d8. I should have dropped it to 1d10.
Yeah, maybe.
This gun got enchanted to deal magical damage and an extra 1d4 thunder damage on top of it.
You know, the usual.
I forget the calculations we got to, but I think we got to like them being capable of doing 140 something in one turn.
Yo, wow. Damn.
Something ridiculous. Do you have any other stories you guys want to talk about from campaign 1, or should we move forward?
I just want to confirm this because I feel like I remember you saying that you had plans on killing Scruffy, right?
I never said kill.
Hmm.
There was actually plans on buffing Scruffy, so Scruffy didn't die.
Uh-huh.
So in my world, there's this magical element called Lunos. And Lunos, it's like magical crystal that also gives off magical radiation, and it can augment creatures that just live near it. And they glow like the Arc Aberration dinosaurs. So there was a chance at one point that Scruffy would find some of this and unknowingly, or water contaminated with it, and unknowingly, because Scruffy's a wolf, drink it.
Like a doofus.
And would, over time, get weaker and then get stronger. But we never got that far. I think you guys got to level 7.
That sounds about right.
Also, as a funny plug, we have like character design arts on the Instagram, right?
I
Yeah,
think those are on Leaf's Instagram.
they are. In fact, for you YouTube viewers, we could pull them up on screen? Question mark?
No. You
Okay.
deserve
Never.
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
Just
Okay.
kidding.
Yeah.
For those listening on Spotify, if you want to see these characters, go to YouTube or follow at Mx Codered on Instagram and Team Codered on Instagram. And just kidding, I'm done plugging.
Hands up for a Scruffy revival. My hand is up, but you can't see it.
Well, you see, I need to be in the campaign in order to even have a chance of Scruffy revival.
What if-
I'll revival them.
Right.
Don't you worry.
Scruffy.
What did you say, Leaf?
Just join the campaign as Scruffy.
Yeah.
Scruffy's gained sentience.
Just a druid that turns into wolves exclusively.
The whole time, Scruffy was just an old weird druid who was just like obsessed with being a dog. You know,
As-
similar to I don't know, Didi or something. I lost it. Lost the
As
joke.
you do.
Imagine if I just made Scruffy like wield a warhammer,
yes.
giant ass
Yeah.
warhammer.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
You know, the other fun thing about
And
this
he-
game.
And Scruffy would carry it by his tail.
Oh,
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
I was the tank in that. Just imagine a little itty bitty cat girl, just 3 foot tall as the tank.
Yeah.
I think you had like by the end of it, like 80 something hit points.
Maybe, and I had like a bunch of stuff that reduced damage.
Whilst Like and I was sitting at a cool 30.
The usual. I don't have any stories for that first campaign, but I feel like it would be relevant. It wasn't D&D, but the first tabletop that any form of the TCR group played together was Monster Hearts. and I feel like that would be relevant to talk about because that
Wasn't
was
it? Yeah,
a-
it would be.
we played one game of that, and we played it on the last day before the pandemic, like the lockdown began.
Yeah, like that.
We played it at
Ryan, wasn't your character? Go.
we played it at Thomas, aka Cocoon's house.
Yeah, yeah. And I had to guide everyone there, and I remembered that there was at least a little bit of distrust, but I knew where I was going. It's because I wasn't totally sure.
Yeah, yeah.
How dare all of you doubt me? I have no idea where I'm going.
We did make it. We did.
We did eventually make it.
And that was like the OG group minus a couple people. I don't totally remember.
Yeah, a couple people didn't make it. It was, I believe, Thomas, obviously, Leaf, you, Connor, Ryan, and Az.
Yeah.
That was all that made it.
Mhm. And I played a Marco.
Follow.
You literally played a fairy.
Yeah, I played. You can't. Yeah, I played a charming, flirty pal named Marco.
Yep.
Simple as that.
My best way of explaining Monster Hearts, uh, teen drama, but everyone is secretly a literal monster.
Also known as Team Code Red. Am I right, guys?
Oh, get off the
Spell.
stage!
All right. Leaves podcast forever. Roll. Wait. Roll to ignore Ryan.
Nope. Get off the
Nat
stage.
20.
Oh, well, there they go.
Anyway,
In
tell us a
post,
little
you
bit
don't
more.
have to.
Tell us about Monster Hearts.
So, Monster Hearts is a much different system from D&D. You need to play this game 2d6. That's it. Two six-sided dice. And I remember there were four stats. Hot, did do anything like flirting or turning people on.
Oh my god.
Because that's the thing you can do. That's a thing in this game. Uh,
Now I kind of want to play
uh
a bit more. I'm
cold, shrugging off any like insult or anything is the cold stat.
Brr.
There was some physical stat, like I forget what it was. It was like act or something. I don't know. It's to do physical, like fight, flight, whatever it was. And the final one was dark, which is like occult knowledge and stuff. And everyone in this group was a monster. And based on what monster you are, you get to choose between two stat blocks basically of like, I want my character to be good at this. So like
I want mine to be
Thomas'
hot.
character, who's a werewolf.
You say that like we're planning to revive the campaign, Dee.
Do it. I want to join.
Just
Yeah.
run your own game.
Yeah, you goof.
Thomas's character, who is a werewolf, was really good at physical conflict, was really bad at occult, I think. Really dumb. And there was all kinds of like, there's also, you get these strings, which is basically like informational bits you know about people, and you can pull on them and bring them up to get people to do what you want them to, or to re-roll. I do remember one funny story that happened during this, and that was Az's character. I forget the name. Timothy? Was it Timothy?
Yes, it was Timothy.
This tiny, tiny ghost child
Timmy Turner.
who floated all the way over to Thomas's character Zeke's place. 'Cause
Damn.
Timothy's a ghost and could go through walls and all that. Went into the cabinet, or into someone's room, I believe it was Zeke's brother's room, and found a jar of candy and ate
Ooh,
all of it. This
damn.
was not normal candy.
Diabetes.
This was a box of edibles.
Oh
And Timothy ate all of them. Now, ghosts can't die via this, but they can get high as hell. So
Oh, well,
a high ghost floating through the cabinets, knocking things over, while this confused himbo of a werewolf is just like, what the hell is going on? It was great. Uh, anyone have any specific stories of Monster Hearts they want to share, or should we move on?
There really wasn't much to Monster Hearts, so I think we could head on down to campaign 2, so that way Dee Dee can actually share her experiences. But I
I
I
don't
I feel like before we talk about that one, just to make Dee Dee wait even longer,
Ah,
can we quickly talk about the bowling alley campaign?
what?
Yes.
You mind if I explain?
Yeah, go for it. You're up.
Please.
Okay, so once upon a time, back when Mr. Brody, formerly known as TBD, was part of Team Code Red, we were all just hanging out in college, just talking about whatever. D&D got brought up because this was around when we had either started or were gonna start campaign 2, and I do not remember how we got into it, but somehow the conversation devolved into Brody asking us to roll because he just improvised a campaign where we were all in a bowling alley fighting, and correct me if I'm wrong, Asriel.
Yeah, it was as specifically in that suit from drama class.
Yeah. And so Brody was like first straight man, the most flamboyant dungeon master, just getting us to roll to fight our own friend in bowling alley. And Asriel wasn't there, of course. So we had to tell them this after. We're like, yeah, we fought you in a bowling alley. And they're like, huh? And, and Brody was just like, he's never done anything ever for D&D. And he's just suddenly, was it a sound and good campaign? Who's to say? Was it really fun and really stupid and perfect for a group like us?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. The thing
I feel
is,
like
it's all made up on the
it was
spot.
all made up. Like Ren plans these things, but Brody was just going off his ass and just sorry, is that a bad word? Can I say that? Just like you're fighting Azrael in a bowling alley. What do you do? Like, I don't know, cry, I'm gonna die.
I think we didn't like two of us play as Brody. Brody was like, "Who are you?" I was like,
Yes, yes, there were two Brodies.
"Me," and someone else was like, "I'm Brody,"
No, I think it
and
was me. Oh my god.
it it wasn't us.
I think it was. We were Brodies.
Wait,
And okay,
didn't
so the way we escaped this like alley or this bowling alley was going into the back and going through like this air pipe, and there was a gust of wind coming out of it. And I think we both, the way we got out is we stereotype Brody by saying, I take off my AJR hoodie and use it as like a parachute to catch the wind and float out.
God.
wasn't also didn't the Brodies combine as well?
Did we?
I would.
I feel like
I wouldn't be
wasn't it like during the Az fight the two Brodies fused into one? Because I think one of you had to leave call.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
You might not have played Brody. I think you might have played someone else.
Wait, I think I found our messages from that night.
Did you?
Oh?
Well,
I
here's Ren had actually written down some of it because we had joked about actually doing it. Location: a local bowling alley in downtown insert city. Players are each one of the members. Blah 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 blah. Oh my god. Yeah, there's not that much here, but
We're-
we did talk about it.
Right, right. We'll revive that for content at some point.
yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna force Brody to do a recreation of that. I do remember that
Speaking
when
of
we got when we got to the back rooms, I made a steam joke because there was steam coming out of one of the pipes, and I was like, I used the steam to log into Terraria and build my way up to the exit.
It was just silly, silly good time.
it was wonderful. Brody, if you're listening to this, we know where you live.
This is true.
We're coming for you.
And
Hey, TMI.
wait, was there scurvy? Yeah, there was scurvy.
There was
Okay,
scurvy. One of the
Oh my
Brodies got
god, yeah,
scurvy.
you're right.
so apparently, according to Ryan's messages from when this happened, Aaron and I both had scurvy, and I think we were the Brodies because then it says Leaf absorbed Aaron.
No, I think you two were each other.
Yes, that was it. I was Aaron and she was Leaf. Yes.
Aaron got
And then
scurvy.
we got scurvy squared. And then I bit Ryan's ankle and transferred it, apparently.
Just like
Okay.
Among Us.
So basically Connor wasn't in call, but Ryan was keeping Connor up to date. So apparently Az had Heelys that Ren really wanted, and Az kicked Ryan in the face.
Wait, was Jill there? I don't know why. I feel like Jill might have been there.
I don't think so. God, wow. I vaguely remember the scurviness.
I do remember scurvy. You don't forget your first scurvy.
I also remember. I remember how convoluted and weird the ass fight was. I don't remember who did the final blow. Was it the Brody blob?
Might have been.
I don't think it was. I think it was the Aaron conglomeration.
Conglomeration. Okay, I don't. If I'm wrong, please edit this out. But I vaguely remember there being tentacles.
There were tentacles.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, I remember that part.
Ryan's traumatized.
Um,
I guess from that, do we want to move to campaign 2
yeah, let's go to.
and the failed D&D cast series because these are
Yep.
one and the same. So
Ryan, you can give us the backstory. Yeah, let's hear
I'll
the
give the
lore.
backstory, and then these fine people can explain who their characters were. So D&D cast. So myself and the rest of the gang here were all like kind of inspired by the Critical Role, like, and other D&D shows like Dimension 20 and all that.
What?
No,
And we're like,
us.
we should do that. That sounds fun because we all had played D&D before and all had some level of fun with it.
Yeah.
And like we planned it and like started it. This campaign had 8 players. That sucked for me. And they all started at level 1. Ryan probably still has the unedited video of it or something somewhere.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh
I
my
have
god.
both of the campaign recordings I still have on my computer.
Oh my god. I'm not surprised. We might release those
Yeah, I was gonna say,
unedited or slightly
gentlemen,
edited.
make sure to follow our Patreon if you want to see some outtakes of hit characters like Bang and others.
Laugh.
Yeah, we recorded it, all 8 of the people who were there plus me running it. That was, first off, hell. Never running for 8 people again. Jesus.
Wait,
Uh,
it's hard to schedule.
oh, it was impossible to schedule. I think
Yeah.
we played for 2 sessions, right?
Yep.
Roughly. And both times, Faith didn't show up to either one. So I had to like run the character
Damn.
both times as just like a doesn't exist unless in combat. And yeah, no, you all did something. I forget exactly what because it's been a while, but I think it'd be more fun for you all to entertain us by saying your characters. If we were going to re-record, it'd probably be just 4 people plus whoever's running. So maybe. Ryan, why don't you go for your character first?
My character's name was Blaff. I had really high intelligence. I don't remember my actual like stat block. But
Wild sorcerer.
I was Ren, you gave me a special version of the Wild Sorcerer, one with more
Special
options.
table with 300 different options on it.
Yeah, I got a funny space sword one time and I
Yeah,
destroyed
no,
everything.
you all were fighting these like suits of armor basically that like had some sort of black smoke in them. And everyone was having a hard time hitting them because they're like full plate suits. And then you're just like, I'm gonna cast magic missile. Oh no, that's a giant floating spectral sword that looks like space. Alright, I guess this works. Slash. Also your forearms were all ice.
Yeah, I touched something I wasn't supposed to touch, but I don't remember. Like my character doesn't remember.
Oh yeah, there were 2 amnesiacs in this party.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Leave.
Sure, I can go next. So my character was named Mozzarella Cheese, minus the Arella cheese. because it was just Matz, M-A-T-Z. And my character was a Warforged, so basically just a robot, which was pretty sick. I originally created them to be a backup because I thought Ro was going to die in the first campaign. That never happened because that campaign never ended up finishing. So brought in Matz, my amnesiac robot, who I created with Ren's guidance to have a certain piece of their body be a important lore piece, and basically their whole thing was beep boop, just got rebooted, don't remember anything at all. Possible past as a, War Machine Death Robot? Maybe. I don't know. I was just a funky robot whose whole thing was plant control, plant magic mainly,
And
because that was my art.
fire.
Yeah, yeah. The robot whose specialty is nature, and then
And made of wood.
and made of wood. It was, metal and wood. It all goes together perfectly. Nothing self-destructive was happening there at all, and it was very fun. I was kind of bummed that I didn't get to play mods more because I was really excited because I think Warforged look really cool, and it was really fun to play. But yeah, what can you do about it?
Yeah.
I don't like my design. I was a druid, I think. Yes, I was a druid.
Yeah, you're sure.
Yeah.
Ghedi, your
Uh,
character.
okay. I have terrible memory, but I don't remember my name for my character at all.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like cherry.
Yes, Cherry. Okay, okay. Um, and this, let me tell you guys, this is like my first time ever playing D&D because my old friends were cringe, and so I did not know what I was doing at all. I had like no like prior reference to really what D&D was, other than it was like this like sandbox type game. So I just sort of designed her basically off of my TCR character or whatever, and wasn't I a bard?
You were a bard.
Yes, I was a bard because I think bards are cool and they can like do musical stuff, and I was like, ooh, yeah. Um, and I just followed people around. I don't think I really did much.
I think you cast a couple spells.
Yeah, the little zippity zaps here and there.
Zippity zapta.
Yeah, Aaron
Um,
Aaron almost died the first encounter.
yes.
Yeah,
So
I
this was supposed to
remember
be like
that.
some sort of like test fight for. So story on this. Unless we release the whole minorly edited clips to Patreon, Aaron's character, I forget the name, into this like fight, and it was supposed to be a test for these people because they got like basically hired for a job, and people need to check if they're going to do it. So this happened, and there were these centipedes, and centipede poison doesn't it stabilizes you if you get knocked out by it, so you don't die instantly. No death saves, no nothing. And it's like, okay, this makes sense. They use these because you won't die. Aaron goes up to like these sewer pipes where they hear crawling, where the gang hears crawling, and just a swarm of centipedes comes out and just bites her to unconsciousness. Round
You.
one, fight. They beat the centipedes, keep going through the sewer tunnels, and they come to like this crime syndicate area. I forget what it was. And I described like the lady who's in charge of it. As I was describing, everyone in the group was like, "Awooga,"
Awooga.
Yeah.
because I put a woman in a suit. Fair enough.
Wasn't it me and Aaron who was after her?
You and Aaron mostly?
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, all these losers are horny.
I was a robot, so I
Stop.
I I was like that. At least that was the original idea.
I'm pretty sure everyone was in on it though.
But did you already say she was like super buff, or wasn't she super buff?
No, she wasn't super buff. Her partner was.
Oh yeah, okay.
And for you listening at home, just hold on and keep listening because there will be more buff women mentioned later on. So stay tuned.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah. So I guess do we want to move on to the next thing?
Our planning
It was a concept
Yes, because that was the second idea that we had
for
for a
recording.
recording. Yes. I don't remember my TCR on air episodes, but I think it was like episode 7 that we might have referenced it. The Avatar episode, whichever one that was. Episode 10.
So
Yeah.
while we were talking about it, did we know that there was an Avatar tabletop RPG coming out?
Yes, we
Or
did know.
I think that's why I brought it
we
up
did?
because I think we
Yeah.
knew about it and mentioned it.
So I was like, "Ooh, that could be fun." And like we chatted a bit about like maybe I'd run one and we could maybe play with it for content or not. And it starts, and we never got to it because we're awful at this.
No.
Yeah, I'm also not sure if the game is actually out yet. Like if you can actually buy it and play it.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know, maybe we'll figure out something.
Or will we?
Uh, I think it was like, oh yeah, the only thing is just no one in the group is an avatar because wow, that would be kind of boring if everyone in this group is like just normal benders or maybe in some cases just a person with a boomerang. Uh, and then there's our version of the Lord and Savior, the Avatar. Oh, what can you do? Everything.
Well, I think it sounds fair.
That's fair and balanced, just like random crits.
No. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I would have played.
Yeah.
I would have played as Dee
What? Huh?
I would have played as a DD bender,
Yeah, Dee Bender.
where I'm able to easily snap DD's spine and kill her instantly.
Jeez.
See, humans aren't that flexible at least.
I am. Huh?
Nope. Oh,
Yeah.
you want to test that? You want to test that, DD?
Yes.
Don't tempt her.
Yeah.
I'm unstoppable.
No, you're
Um,
unstoppable.
I guess we can
Shush.
get into the one-shot failure.
Oh yeah, yes.
Oh God.
The preceding lore behind the newest campaign.
Which we played last night
As
as of this
as a
recording.
recording. Yeah.
Uh, so the plan was that a couple people, I think it was started with 4 people plus me, got together at my apartment to play D&D on New Year's Eve. Because hey, no one's doing anything, it's all fun. And then just like that, people started dropping like flies. And by that I
Like,
mean, uh, first I think it was Aaron who couldn't go, and then Connor,
oh my
like
god,
the day
yeah.
before, ended up finding out that he contracted COVID. He was
Yeah.
fine. He is asymptomatic, but a week prior to
Wait,
that,
I thought he was
both
asexual.
but
Boo!
get off the stage. But
Again.
not like a week
What
prior to
again?
that, uh, me and me and Leaf both had to go. Both like hung out with Connor, like took a bus. We both took rapid tests. We were completely fine, but Leaf ended up not going just for safety reasons.
Yeah.
So it was just me and at one point we talked because after Aaron dipped out, Thomas like wanted to do something for New Year's, and we talked about Thomas joining. Then the COVID thing happened, and Thomas decided it's probably best if I don't for reasons.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah, the reason was Dee.
yeah,
Yeah.
Come
Diddy.
on. Like I know I'm problematic, but I'm not the problem of everything.
Problematic.
He's Alright. Leave us alone, Bo Burnham. It was just a joke.
But yeah, so it just ended up being me and Az came with this backpack full of alcohol. I
What?
was like, yeah, no, and a sword, and a sword. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But Az had a sword
Ah,
For the
I see.
D&D thing.
because Az was hanging out with a friend before that, like 'cause they were in town, and they stopped at a knife shop, and Az bought a knife and a sword.
As you
But,
should. A
but Az
normal
was
Tuesday
expecting, oh
evening.
yeah, there's gonna be like 4 people plus them. So I'll bring enough alcohol for that. It was just us two. And they were like, what am I gonna do with this?
Drink it, all of it.
And we drank a good chunk of it. Uh, but and then we're like, okay, we'll just try to find a new date after everyone's capable to retry doing the D&D game in person.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
month later. 1 month later, we still we tried I think 2 times to schedule. No one was live.
Yeah.
Here at TCR, we
And,
have zero problems with scheduling.
oh yeah,
Never.
none,
Never.
nothing. So that happened, and just last night, after inviting one of our friends who we don't know in person, who we met via as, but who's also part of our, this is a plug, but our Code Red community server, which you can join. And
Yes.
if you're a member of our Patreon, you get special bonuses.
Shameless plug. Shameless.
Okay, now
Shameless plug.
seriously, no shame, because if you the Code Red Club, we're gonna be doing cool stuff just for you, like exclusive outtakes from podcasts that we couldn't keep in, and also like live listening parties and other cool stuff. It's so appealing, and you want to give us your money, don't you?
Well, I'm convinced.
I'm
Just
poor, but I'm convinced as well.
Here's a review from a happy customer. Leaf, why are you making me write this? Please let my family go. Please.
I think that was the wrong note.
Sorry, this is the one. Well,
Oopsie.
Code Red. I love consuming Code Red content. So many alliterations. Anyway, back to D&D. Please.
Yeah, back to that. So, yeah, we managed to get almost everyone together last night to play, and it was fun. And you could never guess who missed out.
Uh,
Me.
yeah, was it Dee Dee?
No, was Erin.
Yeah. Because she's a simp.
Okay, in her defense, for those who listen to the Valentine's Day episode right at the end, you know she just started a new relationship, so she's been off being cute and adorable.
Simp.
Unfortunately,
Don't you love bullying your friends and making money off of it?
well, I mean,
We're
it's not
making
like she
money?
like we're making you guys getting paid.
Only one person here, other than myself, was part of this game, but we can talk about it still. This is kind of like a
Yes.
Lion King 1.5 scenario, where like everything from campaign 1, or sorry, campaign 2, it's the same continent, but I decided to like, oh, these were islands? Smush, they're not islands anymore. It's one big continent.
Yeah.
So campaign 3 was supposed to be our New Year's game, as we talked about,
Mhm.
and then moved on into what's going to be our newest campaign for however long it lasts. Will we get conclusion? Will there be something finished?
Yes, don't jinx it. Just say yes.
Maybe. We'll see. Probably. So, campaign 3. First session plot of it basically is the gang of all these very colorful characters helped a town previously by just driving off a hill giant who was eating cattle and stuff. They didn't kill it,
Usual.
they just shoot it off, and they were given free lodging and a bit of gold for the coming New Moon Festival.
Yeah.
Basically, the D&D equivalent of a New Year's festival.
Oh my god, that totally flew over my head. I while we
Probably
were
because you're
playing, I was
dumb.
like, shut up.
I
I
even
was thinking like,
explained it as it's when the two moons of the world, Versa,
I know.
appear overhead and shine like a bright blue, signifying the coming of a new age, meaning a new year.
I know, I heard that. I processed it, and yet while we were playing, I'm like, I wonder how much of this was meant to be done on New Year's. And somehow my mind did not process probably the New Year's festival.
You
Probably that.
stupid.
And there were a whole bunch of carnival games and stuff. We all went around playing. Leaf's character, or sorry, as a character, little goblin rogue named Keys. I wonder what they like stealing. Tries to enter this arm wrestling competition, promptly loses, then sets up a weird gambling racket, getting Leaf's character, if you'd like to describe.
I would love to. She's tall, she's buff, she's very, very angry.
Satyr Barbarian.
Yep,
You could probably find some artwork on Leaf's Instagram at some point.
you should probably check at least.
At least. Shameless plugs everywhere.
Welcome to the plug cast.
Plug.
Like, mm,
That could
That could
mean
be
many things.
two
Don't
very
read into it.
Okay.
things.
Yeah, please don't get into it.
Yeah, giant barbarian lady versus a dwarven woman arm wrestling competition. Leaf wins because I rolled really bad.
And I rolled mediocrely, which is still better
You
than really
rolled
bad.
3 13s in a row,
Yeah, I kept getting 13s.
and you got lucky. She just happened to roll under 13 each time.
Wait, are you implying that dice rolling is a thing of luck?
No, no.
Okay, good. Because if so, that would completely fracture my understanding of reality.
That's a talk for another day.
Okay.
But yeah, so that carnival, they got some gold from it. Then we had some other things like Thomas's character, this giant half orc, who just wanted to go bobbing for apples. Bobbed for apples, There's a whole bunch of food carts and stuff with different things like cinnamon buns, and apparently it's now canon in my world that Tupperware exists. Not
Yeah,
fancy equivalent Tupperware, just Tupperware the brand.
yeah. Within like 5 minutes, Ren goes, "Yeah, Tupperware exists," and Az is like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
even
why
with
not?
Tupperware branding." Ren's like, "Yeah, sure." And then I come up, I'm like, "Yeah, can I get a beer?" And Ren's like, "Oh, sorry, beer doesn't exist. You have to ask for an ale."
But Tupperware does.
Why
Listen,
Tupperware?
if people can
But
make a
no,
gun or a robotic humanoid, I'm pretty sure they can make plastic food storage containers.
but why does
But
the
not
line
beer.
get ruined up there?
Never beer. Drug bad.
Yeah, drug bad.
It's my ongoing quest because beer tastes gross.
No.
Ongoing quest of making sure to denormalize beer.
Yeah. But for the context of the story, I'm a big buff woman surrounded by these tiny little guys. One is a goober who just wants to steal keys. The other's a literal child stealing flowers. The other's some dude named Bark buying flowers. My girl just wanted to get drunk.
Yeah,
Skill issue,
yeah.
honestly.
Like I think the range of height is like 3'8", 5', 5'4", or something like that. Another 4'8" character, 6'10", and then 8 foot something.
Yeah.
You know, as it
We have a lot
goes.
of poor people.
But you all, went around doing stuff. Our friend from the other server went to play cornhole and got every roll over a 20 in a row, which was ridiculous, and won a whole pie.
I bake you a pie.
What
Oh
flavor
boy.
was it? Pie flavor.
DD flavored.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways, shenanigans happen, as always. The fountain stops and bursts in light. They go down to the sewers, go through slaughtering undead, cultists, and they get to the final room where they are summoning something. These goofs waste time, so the ritual ends up completing after they kill 2 of the cultists that were doing it, and what is summoned is a gibbering mouther, basically a giant blob of flesh with eyes and many mouths.
And its name is literally the gibbering mouther.
They fight it, as doesn't get to do much because if you're close to it, its blabbering causes you to go slightly insane. It can also blind you, and they end up getting it to low health, and Wick and Vinaya, which is Leaf's character.
Can I please explain?
Yeah, go for it.
So earlier I mentioned that my character bought some nice ale, which was really strong, really yucky, and then my character decided to hang on to the rest of it for later in the festival, not knowing that we were going to end up in a dungeon, fight a cult, and then a big squelching monster. So I asked Ren, can I make a Molotov cocktail? And Ren said yes. So we got Wick to make a firebolt, lit the bottle on fire, and chucked it into the monster's mouth. And Ren, you can explain the rest.
It killed it. It killed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Molotov
Uh,
cocktail, baby.
yeah. We were going to do this all in person, And this was all planned for it to be in person, so I have the minis for everything printed out and painted, which I did in 2 days before New Year's, so that'll be up on my Instagram or something at some point. But I believe we are running late and should probably wrap it up here.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening this far if you have. And if you aren't a subscriber to our Patreon, check it out for all those little extras that we teased at you, unless you don't care, in which case, understandable. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for listening with us, and we'll see you next time. We're on air.
Bye bye.